I mean, I'm excited just because like I prefer an X's and O's coach over like a I guess you could say a players coach because I do like when shit gets like really nitty gritty in a playoff series. Like I like a nigga who can like actually make adjustments that look good. Out of timeout, ATOs. Like I like a coach that's really in the bolts with the X's and O's, and he is heavily on that side plus the data analytics side of basketball. And obviously, like I don't want to go too far into like the advanced stats of shit, but I appreciate how he works in there to like be better at the margins and like how he can explain certain things, and I feel like that will get his team's respect early on. He obviously will have to deal with the LeBron shit. I think early on in the playoffs, or not in the playoffs, but like in the regular season, hell, in training camp. But I do think as far as where the Lakers are at in their like trajectory of like, being trying to serve LeBron's last 2 years or so in the league and try to catch a coach that might be a really good person or a really good coach before anybody else gets their hands on them. It's basically like a low risk situation because y'all already been switching out coaches year like every 2 years, so it wouldn't be no problem if y'all had to fire him in 2 years. But if he turns out to be, a really great coach, then you were able to find the diamond in the rough or get him before somebody else got him. So I do like from an X's and O's perspective, and I do think he as a face of your team as far as like the coach. Um, I think it's the best selection of what was available. I liked Sam Cassell, but just because of his experience in the league, but I don't think he was ever being really considered. And I think he's been an assistant for a long time now. Honestly, I don't think anybody's ever really looked at him as a head coach. So I feel like he was probably the best of the situation, other than Dan Hurley, which, like we said, we feel like he was pretty much using that for negotiation tactics with UConn. So.
Playoff team.
Playing team. Yeah, playing team. Um, yeah, I mean they haven't made any moves. I don't. The only thing that because I remember we were talking about this, Carl. You asked me like who would I have wanted that wasn't Dejounte Murray, and like I was okay with somebody who could play two ways, right? And I was like Dejounte was cool, but in my head, ultimately, I only either wanted Kyrie or like a Paul George type situation. And that was never going to happen. Mikal Bridges would have also been cool, but I think those were kind of the only options. And since Dejounte obviously went to the Pelicans, ultimately the only needle mover that there was left, I felt like, was DeMar DeRozan, and that really wasn't gonna be a fit for what they were trying to do anyway. So I look at them as the same roster coming back, and that's it. I think Rob Pelinka probably gets fired after this season of another playing season, and they try to hire Bob Myers probably and go from there.
Isn't this is LeBron's been there for 6 years?
Since 2018, yeah.
So this is their fourth coach in 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
Darvin, yeah, it was Luke Walton. Then
Yep.
it was
Frank Vogel.
Frank
Vogel.
Vogel, Darvin, and then yeah. Mhm.
That's insane. That's terrible.
Yeah.
So bad.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be I think they're gonna be better, but like the West is so stacked. So I agree with you. It's gonna be a playing team. And I agree with you as well too. JJ
Why
Redick.
would they why do you think they're gonna be better? I'm sorry to interrupt, but why do you think they're gonna be better?
Well, just what Terrence said, I think they're gonna just execute at a better level as well too. He even talked about utilizing AD more, getting him shooting more threes. So hopefully we connect with D'Lo or Rui. He really puts them in position to be better. And I think
Is there
LeBron
a
missed a
position you
good.
can put D'Lo in to be better?
You said what?
Is there a position you can put D'Lo in to be better?
Hey, regular season D'Lo not bad. I'm
Got
just
you.
worried about him in the playoffs. That's what I'm really worried about. So we'll see, but I'm curious to see like it looked like JJ already got annoyed with one of the interviewers asking the question, that's when he was like, I really don't give a fuck about what someone thinks. So the pressure
Yeah.
gonna come to him playing under Bron as well too. So we're gonna see how long that lasts. But I think it's just gonna be a playing team, 7th, 8th seed yet again. So
Yeah, I agree. I don't really see them being better than last year. Coaching, of course, does make a difference, but unless you guys can tell me an example, it's not often that you see just a coaching change take the exact same team to another level the next season. Sometimes maybe 2 or 3 seasons, or they stay around the same level and maybe things change in the playoffs. But in terms of the regular season, and especially usually if it does happen, it's going to be a young team, because I'm thinking like maybe the Warriors when Steve Kerr took over, but not a team where your best players are 30 plus, you know,
yeah,
we'll
and
see.
it's not like the Lakers made any outside of the draft. They didn't enhance their roster via trade or free agency. So
You're an 8th seed that got bounced, but then you got swept in the first round. Or no, 7th seed that got swept in the first round.
because I was trying to think of a team, and this doesn't even count. I was going to say Nick Nurse, but Nick Nurse was already had a lot of coaching experience compared to JJ just coaching his son, and he was already under that Toronto tree. And then, like I said, they traded for another player, Kawhi. So
Yeah, exactly. That wasn't the same team. They added Kawhi.
yeah, so that's gonna be a tough one, man.